All right, and welcome back to Game 3 between Royal Never Give Up and EHOME. We are back at it again with a Game 3 as Game 1 went the way of Royal Never Give Up, Game 2 going the way of EHOME. And it is now do or die time as the winner goes on to face Team Root in the finals. And the loser, well, plans for the next one. So, we'll have to see what the approach is here for both teams. The Shadow Shaman is picked up for RNG, and now Beastmaster Rubik for EHOME, which I do love this combination. That is some lockdown combo for ya. With Rubik's Telekinesis, Beastmaster's Primal Roar, the Boar early again to help out.
10 seconds.
Wouldn't mind seeing Beastmaster lane here with the Rubik. Get that Fade Bolt Telekinesis. Right-click damage with the Boar and the Beastmaster to come on through. But we'll have to see. Shadow Shaman's picked up. He also brings a good amount of lockdown here with the Hex as well as the Shackles. Ether Shock early on. Second highest base damage in the game. So, you know, Shadow Shaman, no joke. I like to see what they'll put with this, where he's going to lane. Usually you see it with a Magnus, but of course EHOME have banded out with the Elder Titan and the PA, and then Centaur, Undying, and Brewmaster banned out by RNG. So we'll see what they go to next. It will be the Medusa this early. Okay. Medusa early with the Shadow Shaman. Seeing a bit of a trend here in ranged heroes. Although I find myself doing this too much, where I'm like, 2 ranged heroes must be a Drow lineup coming in. And then it never ends up being a Drow lineup. At least in the Chinese region. I almost rarely see it. Like, I'll see 4 ranged heroes and I'm just like, alright. Well, they've left the spot for the Drow. Here it is. And then I look stupid because there's no Drow.
10 seconds. Here's the Radiant ban.
Legion gets banned out. Oh, I do really enjoy the Legion, especially with that Dispel that the Legion brings to the table. We saw that against a Batrider, and I thought it would be enough. They also had the Oracle there, too. It was crazy that they had the Dispel of both the Oracle as well as the Batrider, and it wasn't enough. Or, the Dispel of the Legion Commander and the Oracle against the Batrider, and it wasn't enough to stop good lassos from coming in. But Legion banned out. Bit of lockdown taken away from the side of RNG with that Legion ban. SRF does play a really, really good Legion, too. One of the best Legion commanders, I think, in the Chinese region is XXS. He also plays an amazing Magnus and Batrider, so if you're looking to see a Chinese offlaner that really knows how to play his position, then just look there. He is absolutely amazing. But Anti-Mage banned out by RNG, of course, against this Medusa. Faith Beyond's a very good offlaner, too. His time with Wings, he was one of their best players, and now back to the Void for EHOME. Back to the Void, Elder Titan banned. Maybe we see like a Witch Doctor come through for EHOME as the second support.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
Let's see what RNG want to go to with this third pick. It'll be the Shadow Demon. So Shadow Demon, even more catch for RNG. I do like it here. Maybe they go to the Mirana once again for the offlane SRF. I need more of this coffee as my throat's getting a little bit dry.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant's turn to pick.
Silencer. Okay. Which is interesting, because Silencer doesn't normally get picked up too often anymore. But you want to fight and go heavy into the side of RNG. Very interesting here.
10 seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
You know, you're going in with the Faceless Void as well as the Beastmaster. You want to make sure that Medusa is, you know, no Stone Gaze coming out. You're able to throw the Chronosphere with no problem and get in there and, whoa. And now into the Terrorblade, which I do like laning with either the Shadow Demon or the Shadow Shaman.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Ban out the Tide Hunters. An offlaner is needed with the Medusa mid safe lane Terrorblade. Tide would have been good, potentially, but Rubik to steal the Ravage and the Global Silence to come out, because the Ravage could come out, then the Silence can come through from the Silencer, and then Rubik's there with the Spell Steal. So, you know, you do have to be kind of careful about what you throw here as RNG, because it can go in that order where you throw Serpent Wards, and Silencer immediately is there with a Global, so you cannot get rid of the Serpent Wards as your last used spell, and then Rubik comes in, steals Serpent Wards, and then all of a sudden EHOME have this crazy pushing potential and this crazy team fight with the Serpent Wards and the Telekinesis.
Ten seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
Dyer's turn to pick.
And they go into the Lich. By the way, I raised the game sound a little bit. Let me know if that's good enough or if I have to open it up more. Or put it up more. Sniper last pick for EHOME, which I do like. ASD mid with the Sniper. He'll be, you know, backlining here with Void frontlining and the Global Silence. You gotta wonder how RNG find their way over to the Sniper. Not really any Blink Dagger carriers here on the side of RNG. I do like this draft from EHOME. Now, RNG, they do have a good amount of lockdown, where I would say EHOME lack a bit, as two of their lockdowns in Chronosphere and Primal Roar are ultimates, and they're only working with the Telekinesis, whereas RNG are working with Disruption, as well as the Shackles, and the Sinister Gaze from Lich. But September on the Lich, Monet on the Terrorblade, SRF with the Shadow Demon, Setsu with the mid Medusa, and Afu on the 4 Shadow Shaman. For the side of EHOME, it's mid ASD on the Sniper, Y on the 5-position Silencer, Ego on the safe lane Void, Jiang on the Rubik, and Faith Beyond on the Beastmaster. I believe that's... I almost feel like that's not Jiang. And I get really nervous about that. So let me just make sure really quickly. Oh, I'd feel so bad. Nah, it is Jiang. Okay. I would be super embarrassed.
Prepare to make way.
Who made you captain?
It's pronounced Admiral.
So, game 3, do or die. And then the winner will go on to play Team Root, probably with a bit of a break in between those games, or in between these series. Let's see how this is going to lane out. So far, Afu in the off lane, sitting here with the Shadow Demon. But, of course, Setsu over mid, and then you've got coming over Sep. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Your off lane is the Shadow Demon. I didn't even think about that at all. I was just like, yep, SRF on the Shadow Demon. But off lane Shadow Demon here against EHOME. Be interested to see how this kind of comes out for them for the side of RNG. We'll see if they tri-lane this. Monet could be by himself, but I don't think this is going to be a tri-lane. I think this is just to get the bounty runes, and if they find anybody, they get the disruption into the shackle or the ether shock with the frost shield on top. So they'll give up the bottom 2 bounty runes. I never really understand this. The focusing on either one or the other and then moving somebody after getting the bounty runes. It seems like you have an off chance of maybe getting a kill, but first bloods on the bounty runes seem pretty rare, at least as of late. So, got SRF here with the Shadow Demon. Got Shadow Shaman with Afu. Again, the second highest base damage in the game. We'll see how Afu's able to just right-click away at Ego, who goes first level into this time walk. But look at the damage that Y takes as well as Ego. So the right-clicking here so far has been doing a pretty good job for RNG. There's a lot of regen for both these heroes. Both heroes going into 2 stacks of tangos and a salve. And then Setsu, at least for now, doing a good job ahead of this sniper 4 and 2 to the 2 and 1 of ASD. And ASD still sitting level 1, at least for the moment. Now finally hitting that level 2. SRF about to hit this level 2. The Arcane Curse coming out on SRF as well as Afu. Doing a little bit of damage, but they aren't exactly casting much of anything at the moment. Over bottom, Monet did use the Metamorphosis to farm up a little bit. They've got Sep here, Frost Blast, Frost Shield here for the Lich. At least so far. And with the meta down, they are able to farm a little bit, but they do have to be careful. Faithbeyond steps forward, and all of a sudden, Faithbeyond in a lot of trouble. The Frost Shield comes through. He's trying to run away from Monet. Sep comes around. Now going south will be Faithbeyond. Looking for the first blood will be Monet and Sep. Getting the salve off, and now it's broken. He should die eventually, so a little bit of a waste of regen. And as I say, he should die eventually. He is weaving through these trees so well, and Sep out of mana. So there's no way to get the Frost Blast onto Faithbeyond. He just walks it out, and maybe the salve wasn't worthless, and he ends up surviving. Nicely done there by Faithbeyond. I thought he was dead to rights. So the Shadow Poison coming through. Arcane Curse will put an end to that for a moment. ASD is now the one leading in this lane. Once he was able to get a little bit further back with the headshot and take aim, it's been a bit of a problem here for the Medusa. The bonus range from take aim is always nice. They're taking a look at that little change there for 7.2 for you guys who are unfamiliar. Can be activated every 6 seconds at level 4 to double your attack range on your next attack. So you take a look at ASD, he's doing a really good job 15 and 8, where it looked as though Setsu, when the range wasn't there for ASD, was dominating. So it's still, you know, an even lane overall, I'd say. ASD taking a bit of damage from the Mystic Snake, but we'll have to see how ASD is able to approach this as Setsu continuing to throw out the Mystic Snake to maybe deter ASD from right-clicking onto Setsu, but for right now, at least, doing a good job, and Metamorphosis comes through. The Frost Shield, Seth puts it on himself. Monet was getting very low there, and now forced to pop that salve. Very dangerous at that moment for Monet. And you really don't want this Terrorblade to be stopped at the moment. I think RNG desperately need him to snowball out of control to take this game. And now they've got the disruption. The Arcane Curse comes through on the 2. Only level 3 is Ego, so there's not much he can do. Arcane Curse placed onto Afu once again. Level 2 in the Ether Shock, level 1 in the Shackle. But he's got that salve, and he'll be able to heal up under the Tier 1 tower. Jiang gets first blood. Looking over at Monet. He's back under the tower. They'll get the kill on his September. They don't chase onto the Shadow Shaman of Afu, who got the salve off, and first blood is going to happen over bottom onto the Lich, and that's better off on the Lich than on Monet. So RNG, they give up first blood. They're not happy about it, but it could have been worse. It's a 1,000 net worth lead so far for the side of EHOME, and looking for the Shackle, I believe, was Afu, but the Time Walk just puts him too far away for them to really make anything for this. Fade Bolt thrown, and oh boy, Jiang taking a lot of damage. Monet without the Metamorphosis for just under a minute, so not much they can follow up on that. ASD level 6. Good moment before Setsu. The thing that I'm noticing in terms of a difference between the previous draft for RNG and this one is just the fact that, and Afu is very dead here with the rotation of Y. That is -2 for Afu, is the fact that these supports aren't rotating the way that the Chen and the Earth Spirit did. And I understand that they didn't end up winning that game, but there's no slowing down EHOME at the moment. Now Sepp in a lot of trouble. The Fable comes through under the Tier 1, or, well, really in the jungle. They're looking for the kill. The Frost Shield doing a good job at the moment. One more shot will get the kill. The Frost Blast comes through. Faith Beyond ends up getting it, but now he needs to get out of here, and with the tower hitting away, he's in a lot of trouble. Metamorphosis will be committed to this as Shadow Shaman comes through. Faith Beyond into the trees. They don't find either yet. And we'll finally kill off Faith Beyond as Afu gets credit for that one, but Jiang gets out scot-free.
Bottom tower is staggering.
Like a drunk sailor.
SRF getting the solo kill onto a Void. I guess catching him without Time Walk. Was not expecting the Void to go down to SRF, but SRF must have played that really well, and now the telekinesis comes through from this Jiang Rubik on Afu, but they've got the Shackle. They're looking to get the kill, the Frost Blast, and stopping the bottle that's on Jiang. He's able to heal up, and with Y and the mid coming through of ASD, they'll get the kill onto Sepp, and they'll look for more on Afu, but not enough as he's able to TP away. So they are cutting into the net worth lead for EHOME on the side of RNG. Ego starting to let that Shadow Poison stack on top of him. He'll sit a little bit further back, Afu making his way over. Meanwhile, Monet continuing to farm over bottom. He's level 6, takes the Sunder, and the rotation will be coming through from Y and Jiang. They do have vision on this. Monet still standing pretty far forward. SRF now level 7. I'm interested to see if how the Shadow Demon continues to work out. If he's able to get a solo kill on the Faceless Void, I'm worried a little bit for EHOME. But for right now, they look really good, and ASD so far ahead in terms of net worth. Brings Jiang over. He's level 5. He's got himself 3 in the Fable, 2 in the Telekinesis to throw at Monet, who has the Sunder. And they have Primal Roar. So the Telekinesis into the Primal Roar. The damage could be enough to get the kill, but it would have to be enough because he's got Metamorphosis as well as Sunder. So to go in on Monet could be a little bit of a problem. They've got the Telekinesis. The Frost Blast comes through, trying to chase, trying to slow him. But they won't commit. They did have the shackles there to lock him down, but rotating over and coming over to try and help was Faith Beyond on this Beastmaster.
That should help.
Interested. I need to stop saying that. I keep prefacing my sentences with "I'm interested in." I've now noticed it. It'll now end. But what I'm looking for here is to see if Monet is going to let himself get low and then go for the Sunder Metamorphosis play. But that is such a risky one. I've seen a couple players go for that, but rarely do I ever see it work. Now, Ward didn't spot this smoke out as they'll send the 2 supports over towards mid. You've got ASD hiding in the jungle, who now has this Mask of Madness, so his farm is going through the roof. Setsu's been able to recover a little bit. And here's the wraparound. They're looking at least for the sniper, but now Afu will show himself with the Serpent Wards. They'll go for the tier 1 tower. Terrorblade wrapping around. This is Sniper moving up pretty far, and here comes Monet. The Reflection, the Conjure Image, and the Mystic Snake all coming through. ASD taking a lot of damage. Oh, the Chronosphere keeps him alive with 11 health. Monet, he does have the Sunder. No follow-up right now from EHOME. And RNG's rotation won't be enough. And Jiang able to steal the Serpent Wards. However, the tier 1 tower still goes down. So Setsu has caught up to the sniper. Had they gotten that kill on ASD, I could see this game starting to turn in favor of RNG a little bit. But they keep him alive. Chronosphere expanded to keep the life of the sniper surviving with 11 health. Ego also going into the Mask of Madness. So very early game oriented right now. SRF still level 7. Seems like he's been level 7 for quite some time. Jiang able to get a kill on Afu. Was with the assassination of the sniper.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff wind. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower needs some friends.
So pressuring bottom and continuing to farm his Ego. Got enough for this Mask of Madness, and we'll finally buy out on it. You've got Faith Beyond continuing to pressure here in the bottom lane. No damage done just yet to the tier 2 tower. 3 heroes inside the jungle. Jiang comes over, shows himself with a Fable, popping that illusion and placing down a ward before he leaves. So again, the vision here for EHOME, the pressure coming in has been very nice. I'd like to see them go to shut down Setsu a little bit more. He has very much found his way back into this game, going for the Dragonlance. Faith Beyond going down to Afu. They'll get the kill over bottom onto the Beastmaster. Oh, coming over. September. Ego nearby has the Chronosphere. Looks over at September. The Frost Shield placed down, trying to get around on these trees, but the Fade Bullet is there. Ego getting that kill onto September, so they at least trade 1 for 1. However, that is an off-lane hero for a support. And actually, Serpent Ward's traded with the Fade Bolt. Afu in a lot of trouble. Will get the kill onto the Rubik, but lose his life. And the Serpent Ward battle goes and turns into a draw.
Dire's middle tower
That was awesome.
under attack.
You go into the Maelstrom with this Mask of Madness. What does Monet have right now? He's got 3 Wraith Bands straight into the Manta, but his farm has not been great. Faith Beyond is ahead in terms of net worth by about 100 golds, and SRF is leading in front of the Terrorblade as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fortified structures can't be breached.
I could. Dire's top tower is about to take the blood.
Throw a line to Radiant's middle tower.
Watch this tier 1 tower as it starts to get melted, but over mid they're rotating. They've got Ego nearby. Faith Beyond continuing to push with the help of this sniper. We'll see how much they're willing to pressure over on this mid lane. They do have the Faceless Void ready to go in with the Chrono. Setsu right there. There's the Chrono. So let's see what they're able to do with this. The Chain Frost comes through, bouncing around onto the board, so they get lucky right now. The nice global silence from the Silencer coming through. Ego's able to walk away. The Hex is out onto Jiang with the Shackle. Frost Blast, but I don't know if it's enough. Oh, blown up is September. Fade Bolt with the Assassination. Just ripping through. So the Global Silence gets expended. They also use the Chronosphere. They get the tier 2 over mid. 9-4 in favor of EHOME. And then it's a nice kill on Setsu as well that sets it all up. They're heavily relying on Monet to find a way back into it, but it just seems like his farm's been so stymied that it's hard for him to be involved if they need him to be involved, and as well as really farm to bring his team back into it. They get the Hex, they've got the Shackle. This could be big for Monet. Not like huge or anything, but a kill for him pushes his farm forward, and they desperately need him to continue to find this farm. They'll go into Roche, no Rubik. Bird will spot this. No Chronosphere either. Chain Frost available. We'll have to see if EHOME are willing to go in on this. The Illusion spots this. Ego, Time Dilation, no Chrono for 22. Monet sitting low. Shrapnel on top. He's gonna need help. He's falling very low. He does have Sunder, but now you need a way in. And SRF, I don't know why he's walking forward like that, but he's just dead. And now Ego goes in. The Chain Frost thrown down. Not gonna bounce, and Ego, thanks for the help. I'll take the Roche. Monet low, lifted up, Assassination, unable to get the Sunder off, and this is just going horribly for RNG. EHOME destroying on all fronts to take the lead. 12-5, 7,000 net worth. Advantage for them, and RNG,
Radiant's middle tower can't
desperate need of help, and they don't know where it's going to come from. And now the Chronosphere is available for EHOME while they pressure this tier 3 on the high ground at 18.5 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Necro 3 picked up for Faith Beyond and EHOME. After their poor performance yesterday, they have definitely tightened up. They look much better. Much better today. I just don't know where they thought this SRF Shadow Demon was going to work. It didn't seem like the pick that was needed. And SRF did get a kill over in lane onto the Faceless Void early, but since then I haven't really felt the effectiveness of this Shadow Demon overall.
Radiant's top tower just got
Smoke coming
sent to
through.
the bottom.
Really tight, Hunter. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Ego's setting up on the high ground here. This change to the map makes it so easy for an attacking team to pick off anybody that tries to defend.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It almost feels like it comes down to RNG and a high ground defense from Setsu, as well as the Terrorblade going perfectly. And they're still looking for the Manta Style and the Terrorblade, who is so far behind. He's 900 gold behind the Faceless Void, so not anything too crazy. When you've got a sniper here who is just 3,000 ahead of the Medusa on the other side, the lane opponent, you wonder where your entry point is to turning this game around. And it's a 10,000 net worth lead for EHOME just 20 minutes into the game. Afu, he does have Serpent Words, but with Time Walk available for Ego, just no way you try to go for that kill. Throw down Serpent Words with the Shackle. Now Rubik has got this Blink Dagger. There's their Blink Initiation, Blink Telekinesis. So things are just ramping up right now for EHOME into what is looking like a Game 3 victory, but it's early. Still an opportunity for RNG. But it has to go perfect.
Dire's top tower is about to take the plunge.
Here we go. Shrapnel laid down. They have the Chronosphere, but the Primal Roar is used. They don't even need it. Already dead. Chain Frost does nothing. There's the Chronosphere on to 2 with the Global Silence following it up. Where do you go? You lose 3 already. RNG. Oh, man. This is so good from EHOME. The Hex from behind them. Afu will probably lose his life. Throws the Shackles. There's the Telekinesis. They'll look for the kill, but they've got the Arcane Curse as well as the last word onto Monet, trying to make something happen. The Sunder, he exchanged the same amount of health. It doesn't matter. Your Terrorblade said he just used Metamorphosis. Even if he had buyback, it'd be worthless. And that was just the Aegis of Ego. Buying back stolen Serpent Wards from Jiang to get this tower.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
This is now turned into a 13,000 net worth lead here for EHOME. Tier 3 down over mid. Tier 3 about to be lost over bottom for the side of RNG. The Global Silences, while being, not too frequent, are there when they're needed. And EHOME have been playing around their longer cooldowns on their ultimates very well. Whenever they go to fight, they use the Primal Roar, they hold on the Chronosphere, then once the Primal Roar is used and that target is dispatched, they'll go in with the Chronosphere, go on the back lines, Global Silence, you can't counter this. And that is exactly the perfect fight that EHOME needs to take these fights and continue to grow their net worth lead, and I would say ultimately take this game and series here in this first series of the day. SRF finally gets this Lotus Sword, but again, they're just so far behind, and Sniper just miles, leaps, and bounds ahead. And they're still looking to continue to pressure. Look at how far ASD is. So far ahead of his lane opponent of the Medusa. 1.609, 3 kilometers ahead of this Medusa. And for you American fans out there, a mile. Chronosphere used. 3-shot, 4-shotting this Afu Shadow Shaman. You go happy to use it. Knows how far ahead they are and won't be a problem. Monet finally has this Manta style. He's gone to the Blink Dagger afterwards. We take a look over at Setsu. Hurricane Pike, Mask of Madness, Scotty next. This is going to require a lot of time from RNG that they are not able to afford to buy. They've saved up their allowance. And they've saved up whatever scraps they could get from their birthday gift cards and birthday money. But for right now, they got to keep saving. The piggy bank ain't able to get cracked just yet. Terribly, also going for the Scotty, so it's going to require a lot of farm for RNG to find these items. If Setsu and Monet can find it, I think that's their step back into the game, as we saw yesterday with Keen Gaming against Team Root. But if they're unable to pull it off, if they're unable to slow down this game and get these Scotties, then I just don't think they have a chance. Ping's coming out. The warding from the Radiant side gives away that they're smoked up here. Not that EHOME were, or not that RNG were using that smoke, it seems, to go on to EHOME, but more just to find a warding expedition so they can at least get a little bit of intel here, a little bit of vision going their direction. Not a lot of kills in this game, 27 minutes into what we're accustomed to seeing. But EHOME have been playing it right. The team fights they're taking have been perfect. Using these ultis at the moments needed. Starting with the Primal Roar, going into the Chronosphere with Global Silence. EHOME puts it all together, weaves it into one big game plan here. And they have been putting their game plan on shine against RNG. And oh, nice move there with the Blink Telekinesis Fade Bolt. They'll get the kill easily on to September. The D ward comes through. The vision was there for EHOME. And now without the Lich is RNG. So be Aegis and Cheese for the side of EHOME. I don't think RNG should go for this. They should continue to just farm, try and find Scotty on one of these heroes so they maybe have a chance to hold. But again, this is asking for a lot from RNG.
Dire's bottom tower is about to flounder. Dire's structures are fortified.
Easily done is this Roche.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower won't last long.
Getting closer to that Scotty, but still
Dire's bottom tower
good amount away from it. They'll look for the Seterax. The tier 3 is already gone here mid. SRF sitting back. You kind of forget that SRF is a core. Blinking forward is going to be Jiang. But for now, they're okay. This is Jiang. Take a look. Afu actually gets Serpent Words out. The Metamorphosis used before the Global Silence, and they take out Afu. The Serpent Words are placed down, and Faith Beyond is able to get the kill. Blow the Global Silence, and they've still got Chronosphere as well as the Primal Roar. There's the Telekinesis on SRF. They've got themselves the Stolen Shackles, gets the kill on SRF, and he's gone for 45 seconds. Does have buyback. Will be forced to use it as these racks are getting low, but EHOME taking their time with this high ground siege. Decide to back off, at least for the moment. Not enough mana for this Chronosphere.
Coin for me.
Coming over, and no Blink Dagger for Beastmaster, unable to catch up to Monet. They do have the Blink Dagger on Jiang to go in and get the Telekinesis, but they don't find him just yet. And Setsu, 700 gold away from grabbing this Scotty if he's willing to give up the buyback. And that's the thing. I think you're at a point, 27,000 net worth down, where you need to buy out if you have that opportunity. Blink, Telekinesis coming through, Chronosphere. It'll land on the Setsu. We'll see if they have the damage. The Hex as well as the Shackles coming in. SRF just bought back. Setsu on the run, and now he's dead. He buys back. So he'll be further away from that Scotty. Even if RNG are able to survive this fight, the backdoor protection comes through. Trying to break through it is the side of EHOME. And now they wonder where their team fight stands. Blink, Telekinesis onto Setsu. Once again, and Afu tries to come through and drops down the Serpent Words. They're gone. Chain Frost doesn't chain to anything. They lose September, and GG's called. EHOME eliminating RNG easily in this Game 3, and we'll move on to take on Team Root next. So EHOME coming back from down 1-0 to take this series and move on to the lower bracket final. It wasn't the most exciting game overall, but it was meticulous. It was perfectly done by EHOME. They had a great laning stage, 9-0-9 for this sniper, 6-1-8, the only death coming over towards top when SRF got the kill in the laning stage. And when your two cores don't really die like that, and you have Jiang getting a Blink Dagger as quickly as he did, doing 10,000 damage. The second highest damage on the team was this Rubik. Everything came together for EHOME to take this series and move on to the finals. So EHOME, they move on to face Team Root. RNG eliminated on to the next tournament they need to be looking towards. We'll see if they continue to focus on that tournament and possibly, you know, maybe look towards a bit of a roster shuffle, or if they think about staying together. So we'll see how that ends up going for RNG, but for now the time is to focus on EHOME and Team Root, which is the final coming up next. We'll be seeing that hopefully soon. I'm your caster Bkop, at Bkop92 on Twitter. I'll be back to bring you that final in just a moment. Stay right there. I hope you're enjoying the casting. We'll be back in just a moment.